Hi Aries, I think we're live, just using a slightly different setup here. Try and make the light a bit better. I think that's a little bit too light in my opinion, but there we go. Time to embark on this week's journey through the zodiac doing tarot reading, starting here with Aries. So I'm shuffling now and asking for a 3-card spread for the sign of Aries, or at least the first card in the 3-card spread. And one fell on the floor there, so that's the one we're having, and it is 3 of Wands. And so the work has been done, the preparations have been made, Aries, and it looks like it hasn't paid off yet, and maybe you're beginning to wonder if it's ever going to pay off. One's energy here is actually your I'm not sure what to call it. Yes, your element. That's it. It's fire sign energy, Aries. Could be Leo or Sagittarius around you as well. But it's the ones. It's about getting things done. It's about making progress. Maybe there's some frustration there, Aries, because it's not always going to be an easy thing to make progress, even when the winds are blowing in the right direction. But White Rabbit here is worrying too much. He is looking at his watch and he's, how long are the ships going to take to get in? Is it going to work? Well, sometimes things go wrong. There's no doubt about it. But this card says that the work has been done and that there is no reason whatsoever to decide that, it's not going to pay off. Things aren't going to happen. Things are just taking a bit too long. That's my feeling, Aries. And the energy of this card, though, is all about getting things done. It's number 3 though, so it is early in the Wands journey, if you like, in terms of actually making things happen. Excuse me. Oh gosh, something went in my eye there. In terms of actually making something happen, that's a little way down the line. Bottom line, it's a little way down the line. Okay, now then, let's say, tell us more, please, about the 3 of Wands in this reading for Aries. And I'm going to stick with Ask an Angel. I did this for the last couple last week. This is a great deck by Tony Carmine Salerno, working out of Blue Angel Galleries in Australia. Tony with the letter I at the end, but it is man Tony. And he's a great painter, and every now and again he pulls things into a deck. I'm dropping all the relevant cards. So telling us more about the 3 of Wands in this reading. Archangel Azrael, completion. And this is what we're waiting for, is it not, friends? Because when that completion comes in, that's when things start moving for you, Aries. But look, the ships are coming in. They are actually very close indeed. They're not far offshore at all. So the ships are coming in. Looks like things are going to work. And when we get the completion card, which is all rather overexposed today, isn't it? Goodness me. When we get the completion card, then, things are actually going to be completed. This is what we're heading towards rather than where we are. But what I'm saying, Aries, is what's going on at the moment is all part of finding that completion. If you look at all the stars around this lady's headdress, and particularly the 5-pointed star there, it's kind of Pentacles energy, really. I mean, this isn't a tarot card, it's an oracle card, but it's kind of Pentacles energy, I think, because it's got the pentacle so prominent in it. So earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo around you, and get yourself grounded. That grounding can be a real issue when we're sort of just worried too much about something. I mean, because what White Rabbit isn't thinking is, if anything has gone wrong, if he hasn't got quite as much as he'd hoped for, somehow he's got enough to launch the whole thing again and do it all again. He's got the ability to persuade people. He's got the ability to actually lay all that groundwork again. It would just be an awful lot of work. But completion is on its way in. It's just something that's going to take time. It's some way off. But just as strongly as this lady looks determined, it is going to happen. Okay, I better have a quick drink of tea just there, I think. Right, okay. So now then, let's say, please give us the middle card in this spread for the sign of Aries, which I am doing in July 2019. The best time to watch these, of course, friends, is when you're drawn to watch them. Okay, but it looks like plenty is on its way in. It's just a question of what we're going to do with it and where does it actually take us. The journey has always taken us towards completion. That's where we're always headed, no matter what. But what twists and turns lie ahead of us, I wonder. I mean, there'd be no point getting readings if you weren't wondering anything like that. Okay, and the middle card is the King of Cups. Here he is. Now, and this is a chap who's been hurt a lot. It's, it's cups energy, it's longings, desires, thinking about what do you want, what did you think you want, and sometimes the confusion here is when we thought we wanted something and it's come along and it wasn't really what we wanted after all. How do we get out of situations like that? Difficult one, but more than anything, the King of Cups here, he's wise, he's got a fair bit of power about him as well, which he is willing to relinquish a little bit when it's making things go in the right direction for him. But all the power in the world hasn't saved him from having his heart broken. See, we've got slanted clouds in this image, and we've got a very rough sea there as well. He's up and, sitting up on top of it there, quite proud because he is the king. But we remember from King Canute, even kings can't stop the waves rolling in. So I think acceptance is actually indicated here, Aries. It's about, as we look at the Three of Wands, and we just know something isn't ideal about this situation. It's on its way to everything being good, but it's not ideal because it's not here yet. And who knows, maybe these ships having come all the way across the sea from some far-flung destination will all suddenly sink just before we get, you know what I mean? It's kind of pointless fears, that kind of thing. The King of Cups here, he holds all the cards, you see. He can actually make things happen. And maybe all he needs to do is wait a bit longer for things to happen. Because he is pondering there. He's sort of looking towards the cup and he's pondering what is going to come in. Is it going to be a full cup or a half full cup or a half empty cup? Or what on earth is it going to be? Well, let's say, tell us some more, please, about the King of Cups in this reading for the sign of Aries. Tell us more about the King of Cups, please. And the card that comes out is communication. Right, now this is the thing, see? Whether it's Rabbit here or the King of Cups, there just isn't the communication going on. I know lots of people have told White Rabbit here that things can be good and that he's worrying about nothing. Because the 3 wands in this have these ribbons tied to them and the ribbons are blowing in the wind. So it is happening. It is actually unfolding. We get to the King of Cups. He is actually sitting there. He's a long way from other people. He's all out at sea. And unless someone comes along in a ship, there's not going to be anybody to have a conversation with or even to save him, actually. So the problem in both of those cards is a lack of communication. And that, friends, is what's hindering the general idea of completion here. Okay, so it's Archangel Gabriel, very powerful energy, and it's communication. And as I'm drawn to the heart here, which is obviously the most prominent thing in the whole thing, this heart chakra energy is very high energy indeed, and it's actually quite closely connected to the divine feminine. It's not well known, I'm afraid, but long ago when the Old Testament of the Bible was still being written, Archangel Gabriel was regarded as a female angel. It's just that she was so powerful that someone somewhere along the line decided she'd better be turned into a man. But this is really the divine feminine, I would almost say, the goddess energy here, okay? And communication is like that. To communicate, you need a certain amount of sensitivity to get your point across. So if someone's in your way, talk to them about it, Aries. That's the thing. And if you're really, really missing out on something, if you really think it's not going to happen for one reason or another, whatever the reason you think it's not going to happen or probably isn't going to happen, just talk to people, okay? You could be absolutely amazed at how different the world is, Aries, when you talk to people about things. It really matters a lot. We really do need the other people in our lives and whatever's coming around us in that way. Okay, so we will move on, and I'll say let's have another card, please, in this 3-card tarot spread for the sign of Aries in July 2019. Let's have the final card, please. We're in Mercury retrograde, by the way. I just thought, looking at the communication card there, being in Mercury retrograde, communications are bound to be awry. But we just the first, I think it's the 31st of July and the 1st of August, depending where you are in the world. That's when Mercury retrograde ends. By the time this is published, we'll be nearly at the end of July. So that communication thing is going to ease up a lot, okay? Not surprised if it's been a bugbear, but it's still worth thinking about, okay? It's still worth trying to do these things. Mercury retrograde doesn't kind of kill everything. It just makes things difficult, put it that way. Things get tricky around communication, particularly. Okay, so the last card now, we've got Three of Wands, King of Cups, and Ace of Cups. Okay, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, water sign energy around you, basically, Aries, and longings, desires, things to be looked out for. And it's the Ace, very, very positive. Certainly, not a sign of completion just yet, but we are completely ready to start the journey when this card comes in. And this is the last of the three cards. We'll do another Oracle card in a second to get some more clarity. But this is the last of the three main tarot cards. A good deal of alchemy always associated with the Ace of anything, actually, but particularly with the Ace of Cups, this is going to be about getting things happening in terms of heart's desires, in terms of longings. And what Rabbit is looking out for here is actually going to take some more manifesting, because what comes in is actually only really the beginning of what's coming next, and that's always true wherever we are in the cycle of our lives, friends. So something's coming next, yeah, because we've got the Ace of Cups there, and we've also got a nice cup of tea there. And just in honour of this wonderful deck, this wonderful image by Eugene Smith, I'm going to have a drink of tea. Must mention Barbara Moore as well, who drew this amazing deck. Wonderful stuff. And just look at that image is absolutely full of hope. So moving along swiftly, let's see what the Oracle cards have to add to that and say, tell us more, please, about the Ace of Cups in this reading for the sign of Aries. Tell us more, please, about Ace of Cups for Aries in this July 2019 reading. And we've got clearing, Archangel Michael. Great. Now, this is the best archangel to come up if you need to ask for help for something. Now, I know some people are they would probably prefer pure tarot readings. Myself, I like to be a bit eclectic. I like to kind of do a bit of something for everybody. But when Archangel Michael comes in absolutely any kind of spiritual work or divination, you can be sure that protection is at hand. You may need to ask for it, like anything to do with any angelic force at all. It's there. The angels are waiting to help, but you do have to ask them. No one dare mess with Archangel Michael, though. Really not. So it's about clearing the space around you, I feel, in such a big way. Because when we look at Ace of Cups here, this is a vast vista that we're actually looking into, isn't it? A mighty river right in the distance here, leading to a waterfall, and it's filled this thing up, you know. And in the alchemical sense, we could even imagine water flowing uphill, because that's how strong the magic of the Ace of Cups is, guys. Okay, but do shield that energy of yours, because it is important to do that, especially when things are going off in quite an intense way. And it looks like as we get past the King of Cups phase and we're communicating and we're finding out where we want to go and we're beginning to understand the answers, we need a clear path ahead of us. Hearts everywhere in this card. It's higher heart energy. In terms of love, in terms of relationships, it's looking absolutely amazing. And it's looking pretty good in other areas of fortune as well, because this is generally a fortune card, a card about fortune. It's the Three of Wands. It's right at the beginning of the journey, but the journey is underway, my friends. That is the good news. And Aries, I will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I must try and adjust the white balance and make these just a little bit more watchable if I possibly can. Meanwhile, thanks again. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe and tap that bell so you don't miss anything. And big thanks to everyone who's been subscribing as well, and everyone who's been viewing, because the views are going up, the subs are going up. Pretty soon I'll be into the live readings again, and I'm really looking forward to that. Meanwhile, have a great time. Leave me a comment if you will, and we'll share the journey, and I'll be back soon. All the best. Goodbye and peace.